The story begins with us being shown an airport. There we see a pilot named Brad. He is walking quickly towards the plane while talking to his daughter on a video call. His daughter says that she saw the news this morning which said the weather in the area you're going to is very bad. Because of this, many other flights have been cancelled. So you should also cancel your flight and come back home. But Brad smiles and replies that he has flown a plane safely in such weather many times before. So don't worry. I will be back home soon. Hearing this, his daughter gets happy and hangs up the call. After that, Brad enters the plane's cockpit and meets the co-pilot. The co-pilot was a little nervous because today was his first time flying a plane. Just then, a flight attendant comes and calls Brad out. There, a police officer tells Brad that due to an emergency, he will have to take a murderer with him. His name is Tony. Tony is a very powerful and dangerous man who has a murder case against him. And now he will be taken to another country by plane and put in jail for life imprisonment. The police officer tells Brad that they are giving him this responsibility because he is a competent and sensible pilot. Brad agrees and seats Tony in the last row so that the other passengers do not have any trouble. After that, all the passengers sit in their seats, and Brad comes to the plane's staff and confirms that all the passengers have arrived. After which the plane takes off. After reaching altitude, Brad puts the plane on autopilot and starts talking about his family with the co-pilot. Brad shows the co-pilot a photo of his daughter on his mobile, and says that he loves his daughter very much, and they have no one in this world except each other. On the other side, the passengers sitting in the plane were enjoying the journey, but they didn't know that something very bad was about to happen to them shortly. Both the pilots sitting in the cockpit were also happy, and the plane was flying normally. But then suddenly the weather got bad, and the plane started taking light jolts. Because of this, Brad gets worried because he was feeling something wasn't right. He announces to all passengers to fasten their seatbelts and tries to contact the control tower via radio. But he couldn't talk because all the radios here stopped working due to the bad weather. Just then a strong lightning strike hits the plane. Because of this, the plane starts shaking violently. Brad goes out of the cockpit to check on the passengers. Seeing the passengers, Brad gets a little relief because all the passengers were safe. But now the lights were slowly going out here. And then the plane takes several more jolts, due to which Brad's head hits the ceiling in front and he falls down, injuring his forehead. Seeing this situation, the condition of all the passengers started getting worse. Brad quickly returns to the cockpit and, along with his partner, starts trying to control the plane. This was a very difficult time for them. Due to the bad weather, they couldn't see anything ahead. Brad says that we have to bring the plane down because if the plane takes one more jolt, it could be destroyed. They immediately start reducing the plane's altitude, and the plane starts going down rapidly. The passengers inside the plane were very scared. Just then, the police officer who came with the criminal Tony drops his mobile. He unfastens his seatbelt to pick up his mobile phone. A flight attendant also unfastens her seatbelt and comes forward to help him. Now, because the plane was rapidly descending, as soon as their seatbelts opened, both of them immediately hit the ceiling with great force. They hit the ceiling with such force that they die instantly. By then, the plane had reached a very low altitude, and somehow, both pilots managed to control the plane. But now there wasn't much power left in the plane. So Brad couldn't take the plane to the airport. Because of this, Brad thinks of bringing the plane down and performing a crash landing in the sea. But then they see an island some distance away. After this, Brad changes the plane's direction towards the island and decides to land on the island. After many difficulties, Brad finally makes an emergency landing on a road on this island. Luckily, in this emergency landing, all the passengers are safe and no one is injured. Just then, a short circuit occurs at the back of the plane, which makes Brad happy because there was still a little bit of electricity left in the plane. After all the passengers deplane, a flight attendant tells Captain Brad that the police officer who was taking the criminal Tony has been killed, and a flight attendant has also been killed. Hearing this, Brad gets very sad. On the other side, the airline company owner sees that one of his planes has suddenly disappeared because he hadn't seen the plane land, and he hadn't been able to contact his pilot for a long time due to the bad radio. That's why the airline company owner calls a rescue expert named Scarsdale, who works to find people who are stuck somewhere in trouble. The airline company owner tells him that he needs all the details of his plane, like where it went, where his workers and all the passengers are. After which the rescue expert starts his work. On the other side, all the passengers were wondering why they landed here. Brad gathers all the passengers and explains to them that they had to land here due to an emergency. There is still a little bit of electricity in the plane, which they will use to fix the rest of the things. Until then, you all should stay here comfortably and do not panic. They will leave here very soon. After this, Brad comes near the plane and starts working on fixing it. But he sees that the power in the plane is quite low, so they will have to wait for help. They take out a map and look at their location themselves, so that they can find out where they are. Brad's co-pilot partner looks at the map and tells him that they are stuck on a private island. This place is very dangerous. There are people here who do not listen to any government or authority. If these people catch them, their lives could be in danger, and their government won't be able to save them either. Hearing this, Brad says that now they must somehow call their rescue team here, so that they can come and save everyone, because this is the only way to get out of here. After which both of them start fixing the radio to call for help, but the radio was completely broken due to the lightning strike. Now Brad comes to all the passengers and tells them that the radio is not working due to a malfunction. But don't worry everyone. Brad assures them that they will go to the other side of the island and look for the radio, tell the control tower their location, and ask them to send a rescue team here, who will come and save all of them. And here Brad takes a very big step. He says that Tony will go with me. Saying this, he unlocks Tony's handcuffs. Here Brad tells the plane's co-pilot that he should focus on repairing the plane's power. He will try to bring the rescue team here through any contact he can make soon. After this, Tony and Brad head towards the jungle to find a radio. On the way, Tony thanks Brad for trusting him. Now we see the terrorist group living on this island. A man runs up to them, and that man tells the group leader that a plane has landed here due to an emergency, and there are many people inside who are from different countries. Hearing this, the group leader gives the man some money and tells his team to get ready. Brad and Tony are moving forward in the jungle of the island. Tony asks Brad why he freed him and where he is taking him now. Then Brad tells him that he cannot put everyone in danger because of Tony, and there is a dangerous terrorist group here, which you have to face with me. Then Tony tells Brad that he is from a military background, and he has served in the US military for many years. After a short while, Tony's voice stops coming from behind. When Brad turns back, Tony was not there. He had escaped from Brad and was gone. And now Brad proceeds alone into the jungle. Moving forward in the jungle, Brad goes to an empty factory where he finds a telephone. But that old-fashioned telephone was broken. After which Brad starts connecting the wires of the telephone attached to the side, and the telephone starts working. Brad quickly calls the company's helpline. Brad tells the helpline his location and everything. But due to some malfunction in the line, his voice was not reaching the person on the other side clearly. Because of this, the helpline people cut Brad's call. Then Brad gets an idea. He calls his daughter and asks her to write down his location and all the other things on a paper and deliver it to his office. Just then, a man comes from behind during the conversation and attacks Brad. But Brad manages to control him with great difficulty and beats the man until he is unconscious. Then Brad feels that another man is entering the room, so he quickly hides. But that man was none other than Tony, who had killed many thugs and taken their weapons, and he calls out to Brad, "Don't be scared, come out." Then when Brad comes out, Tony gives Brad a gun for his protection. After that, when they both come down to the lower floor of the factory, they find a camera here. From the camera recording and the passports lying there, they come to know that the terrorists living on this island kidnap people and demand a very large amount of money from their families. And even when the kidnapped person's family pays them, these people kill them instead of releasing them. Seeing this, Brad understands that their passengers are also in danger. After which both of them go outside and they see a car in front of them. This car belonged to the terrorist who was killed by Brad a while ago. Now both of them sit in the car parked outside and start driving towards their passengers. On the other side, all the passengers are waiting for Brad, hoping that Brad will soon bring help for them. Just then they hear the sound of a car. Hearing the sound of the car, These people get happy and they think that Brad has called the rescue team for them. But these were not the rescue team, but the terrorists living on this island. They start shooting to scare all the passengers. Brad and Tony also hear those gunshots. After which they increase the car's speed and try to reach the plane quickly. The terrorist group leader asks the flight attendant for the list of all the passengers. Out of fear, the flight attendant quickly brings him the list. Then a man from the gang asks the co-pilot where his senior pilot is. To which the co-pilot says that he went into the jungle for some work, but has not returned yet. Just then Brad and Tony also arrive there. But both of them were secretly watching these people from a distance. Meanwhile, a woman tries to run away from there. But they shoot and kill her. Seeing this, Brad goes to help them. But Tony stops him and Tony says that he should remain calm. It is not right to go now. The gang leader makes all the passengers sit in a bus, and the gang leader leaves his two companions there, and tells them to go and bring whatever valuables are inside the plane. After which these people start taking all the passengers to their hideout. After the gang leaves, Brad starts getting angry at Tony that those people took their passengers, and you didn't let me go. To which Tony explains to him that there were too many of them. Even if you went, you wouldn't be able to fight such a large army alone. Now both of them start moving towards the plane, and catch the two thugs who were stealing valuables from the plane. Brad asks them at gunpoint where their leader must have taken the passengers. To which he tells him that they have a hideout some distance from here, and they must have all gone there. On the other side, Brad's daughter gives the paper written by Brad to the rescue expert, on which the plane's location and all the information are written. The rescue expert finds the plane's location with the help of a satellite. They find out that the plane is stuck on an island, and they also find out that there is a dangerous terrorist group on this island. After this, the rescue officer calls the captain of his private army, and explains the whole situation to him, and asks him to go to that island. The private army captain agrees, and gets ready to go to that island with his companions, loading a bag full of money and several bags of weapons into the car. On the other side, Brad sees that before the terrorists took them away, the plane's co-pilot had repaired the plane's power system and Brad sees that the power has returned to the plane. Seeing this, he gets very happy. Now Brad writes a message on his uniform for the private army team that is coming and leaves with Tony for the place where the gang had taken all the passengers of the plane. Going through the jungle, both of them reach the terrorists' hideout. And both of them get out of the car and secretly enter the place where all the thugs were scaring the passengers and making videos of them so that they could send these videos to their families and extort money from them. On the other side, the private team sent by the rescue expert also reaches the plane. But when they don't find anyone there, the team leader goes inside the plane to check, where they find the dead bodies of two people. These were the two people whom the gang leader had asked to steal all the valuables from the plane. But Brad had killed both of them. The captain of the private team also finds the message left by Brad, which was a path to the terrorists' hideout. At the terrorists' hideout, Tony and Brad were secretly keeping an eye on them. And as soon as they get a chance, both of them sneak up from behind and kill two terrorists. Then both of them secretly move forward and reach outside a room. All the passengers were held captive inside this room. Now Brad wanted to free these people, but there were many guards patrolling. And Brad also did not have the key to open the door's lock. After this, both of them kill those guards one by one. And Tony picks up a hammer and kills many guards with the hammer. Here Brad takes the key from a guard and frees those passengers from the room. He tells them to quickly get on the same bus in which the terrorists brought them all here, and they all quickly get on the bus. Just then, Tony comes to Brad and tells him that there is only one way to get out of here by car. But there are many thugs standing there with guns who will start firing at them as soon as they see them. When Brad looks at the passengers, they are all very scared. Now Brad makes a decision, putting his life in danger, and tells Tony that he will distract the attention of all the terrorists present there. And Tony should take advantage of the opportunity, and take all the passengers away from here. Now Tony first refuses Brad to do so. He says that doing this will get Brad killed. But Brad says that there is no other way for them. Hearing this, Tony agrees. Brad leaves from there, and goes to the terrorists. There, Brad talks to the gang leader, saying that he has informed for help. The rescue team will arrive here soon. So let all the passengers go from here. Hearing this, all the gang members laugh at Brad and start beating Brad. The gang's head says, "How can I let them go like this? I don't leave anyone without money." And now, just as they are about to kill Brad, the private rescue team arrives there and attacks the terrorists, and after a long time of firing, they kill many of the gang members and free Brad, and take Brad to the bus and leave from there. Here the gang leader sees that along with many of his companions, his younger brother has also been killed. Seeing this, he gets very angry and swears that he will not spare a single one of them, and will kill everyone one by one. After this, he tells his team to get ready quickly. They will leave soon to kill these people. In the bus, the private team's captain tells everyone that they are just a small private team of 5 people who have only come here on a mission to save them, and they are not a rescue team. It will take some more time for the rescue team to arrive here. Hearing this, Brad gets nervous and says that they don't have time because the gang members will soon come after them and kill them as soon as they see them. But he has an idea. Upon reaching the plane, Brad tells all the passengers that the power has returned to the plane. That means the plane will start now, and they will leave from here immediately. So all of them should quickly get on the plane because they cannot wait for the rescue team. It will take time for them to arrive here. And if they stay here, they will be killed by those terrorists. Hearing this, all the people get on the plane. While Brad gets busy checking the plane thoroughly, the private team members sit prepared for the impending danger. Just then, the terrorist group suddenly attacks them. Seeing them, the private team starts trying to stop them, and there is a lot of firing from both sides here. But this private team had very good guns. Because of this, they kill many thugs. Brad quickly tells the private team's leader that he is going to start the plane in the next 5 minutes. And all of them should also quickly board the plane. After this, Brad goes to Tony and thanks him for helping him in his most difficult time. Brad, protecting himself from bullets, goes inside the plane, sits in his cockpit, and starts working with his co-pilot partner to start the plane. Meanwhile, Tony runs out of bullets, and when he checks the private team's bag for bullets, he finds a bag full of money there. But at this time, Tony leaves the money and takes out bullets from another bag, and starts fighting the terrorists again. By now, Brad also turns the plane to the right side. Now the private team soldiers also start boarding the plane one by one, and Tony gives them cover fire. Because the power is back, the radio also starts working. Now the owner of the plane company tells Brad that he will tell him a safe place where he can go. Now everyone boards the plane, but Tony doesn't board. He takes the bag full of money and starts running away from there, because if he went back with them on the plane, the police would catch him again and put him in jail. The gang leader goes mad with anger seeing his companions dying. He thinks of bringing a rocket launcher in front of the plane and blowing them up in one go. But Tony sees him at the right time. Now Tony quickly picks up his gun, shoots him, and kills him, saving the lives of everyone. Seeing this, Brad gets very happy with this act of Tony's, and Brad manages to fly the plane using all his strength. Seeing this, Tony is happy for all the passengers and Brad and runs into the jungle with the bag full of money. Brad takes the plane away from this island, and the plane's owner tells him about an airport where they could go, which was now quite close to them. Brad takes the plane towards the location suggested by the airline company owner. But then the plane's engine catches fire once again, and the plane starts to be destroyed. Therefore, Brad turns on the emergency warning again, and slowly tries to bring the plane down to the runway. Finally, after great difficulty, Brad lands the plane on the runway and everyone's lives are saved. Brad and his co-pilot partner get very happy. On the other side, the owner of the plane company and his team were also extremely happy. Now Brad goes to the back to check on the passengers, and sees that all the passengers are safe. And seeing this, his heart finds peace. All the passengers standing there start clapping for Brad and thank Brad. In a short while, the rescue team also arrives there for them, which makes all the passengers happy. Here Brad sends all the passengers with the rescue team, and the captain finally takes a sigh of relief, sits on the plane's stairs, and talks to his daughter on a call. With this, the story ends. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel, and like the video.